Hi Trader, Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. I'm going by Eastern time here and it's about 10:25. I'm not quite sure when I'm actually going to upload the video, but a little bit of a late recording. I had a lot of things to do. I had a pretty long day, so I really just have two on my agenda for you today. Let's kick it off with a stock that was up hugely on the day. I don't know why. Did not read anything about the fundamentals or the news. This is just one I'm seeing in the technical charts. So we're going to look at ticker WAFU. Like I said, it's up hugely on the day, over 166%. So again, congratulations are in order for anyone that was long or was able to partake in this move. We're actually going to look at an hourly chart, right? Although it's a chart that dates back to January of 2021, at the beginning of the year. I really just want to focus in on price action today because, as you can see, if you look at the volume bar down here, that's where sort of the stock came alive. Incredibly so in the first hour of trading, with the stock actually topping off, incredibly, right? Topping off at 2064. So although we closed down on the day, right? The high of today was 2064. We closed at 1273. Even with that, we're still up a whopping 166%, because if you look at where the stock closed at yesterday, it closed at around $4.78. So a huge move. Again, congrats to the bulls. I like to look at the hourly chart versus the daily, weekly, or monthly when a stock has made such a huge move, because again, if you just look at trading activity and volume from the beginning of the year until present, it was dormant with the exception of today. So I just like to look at sort of buying and selling within that time frame. I mean, you can look at the minute, the 5 minute, 50, 30 minutes, or even the hour. But I think looking at a bigger time frame wouldn't give you sort of what you're looking for, or at least me, what I'm looking for. Anyway, so close at 1266. Here it says 1273, but I believe Yahoo Finance had it closed. You can see it right here. 1266. We're actually down about 6% in after hours, and I say we, not me because I'm not in this stock, but the stock is down about 6% in after hours to 1185. So we're right, we can say right here. So this is actually, it's right now in after hours. Market is closed. It's actually sitting, in my opinion, on support. So heading into Monday, for things to look rosy if you're long, you definitely don't want it to dip below 1185, because that's support. That's right here on the hourly. So again, ideally, you'd want it to kind of bounce off support to possibly head higher. If in pre-market trading heading into markets open, if the stock actually trades below 1185 and can't rebound, then I would say watch out. You probably have a lot more downside to experience on Monday. However, heading into pre-market on Monday, session opens and you kind of manage to hold that 1185 line out, even if it dips a little bit lower. Let's say it gets to 1183, 1179, and it doesn't dip much further than that, and that is bullish and good for you if you're long. But again, if it cannot get above that 1185 and you find that it's drifting lower, I can see a potential sell-off. So that's my take on ticker WAFU. I hope that's helpful. What else? All right, and so we have, and we're going to round it out with ticker GSX. It's actually off, and again, this is just technicals. I don't know what's going on with the fundamentals. I don't know why the stock sold off today, but it's off a whopping, over 41% at the day. We closed at 39.01. It's actually up, right? It's up slightly in after hours, about 3%. I see a close of 40.25. So that's somewhere around here. But, this is actually why I love technicals. I use it as a guide because I find that they tend to be reliable enough so where you can, again, at least me, use it as a guide. So this is a daily chart. We're going to look at a longer time frame dating back to 2019, but I definitely just want to focus in on price action from January of 2020 till present, so about a year's worth of data. You can see here, right, in that 2020, the beginning of 2020 till like May of 2020, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but like that $28 to $30 range or area signified support, right? We bounced off of it several times within that 3-month span. Let's see if I can get a arrow going to show you what I'm paying attention to, right? You can see it, and then we'll copy. So that's the first one right here in this cluster here. That's 28 to 30. We got that bounce, right? Even here, 28 to 30, we got that bounce. So several times in the span, and I'm just going to put it where it got that bounce, several times within that 3-month period from January 2020 to around, why did I say 3 months? It's longer than that, right? To that 6-month period from January of 2020 to around June of 2020, you know, that $28 to $30 area served as support. Every time the market got there, you got the bounce. The market would revisit, you would get the bounce. Revisit, you get the bounce. Revisit, you get the bounce. So with this sell-off of about 40%, obviously once it got to that level again, like it did today, even on that selling, right, buyers stepped in and they bought it. You got that bounce. It went as low as $29.40 today. So within that 28 to 30 range that held for 6 months in 2020, you got that same support. You got that same sort of favorability, for lack of a better way of framing it, today. You got that bounce. So if you had bought right around $28 or $29, right, you would have gotten that bounce, and we closed at 39, but it's up to around 40 in after hours. So that's about an 11-point spread if you relied on technicals and you went long despite the massive sell-off. Had you relied on technicals and said, well, you know what? The stock was saved in 2020 for 6 months every time it revisited that area, although it's scary and the stock is selling off to the tune of, 40%. That's a bloodbath, right? The stock is like blood on the streets, but you know what? While technicals or while past trading history is not a predictor, again, it can serve as a guide. And if you had trusted the process, right? If you trust the process and went long, you would have been rewarded. You would have gotten that bounce. Anyway, so I say all that to say, as long as it can continue to trade above 28.30, I think you should be good. The floor possibly would have been placed in. If it cannot, right? If it cannot remain above 28.30, then that's reason for pause, because now you're trading in territory you haven't really traded in for well over a year, and that is relatively stable. But for now, buyers stepped in. It's safe trading at around $40 in after hours, and you ask yourself, well, where do I see it going? Perhaps that's thought for another video, but if I can say, well, where it's going, one can conclude, again, going back to price action in that 2-month range, one can conclude that 46 to 50 is not out the question. So still potential $5 to $10 of upside left. Make sense? Hope it does. And we're going to cap it there. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of that video, do me a solid. Just like and comment and share. Again, it helps to get the word out and it helps to get our name out there. So do me that solid and like and comment. That's the first thing. Secondly, for anyone that's new or just need a refresher, what we're doing right now is we're hosting a free 14-day trading course on our website. If you find that you have about, 5 to 10 minutes of your time every day, definitely sign up for that course. We don't ask you for any money, just a valid email address to know where to send the videos to. These are things that I've learned over the course of 20 years. I mean, this is literally blood, sweat, tears. Me like spending hours upon hours looking through hundreds, if not thousands of charts within the past 20 years. This is me reading whatever technical books I can get my hands on. This is me reading whatever trading books I can get my hand on. Like, I've literally spent 20 years of my life literally devoting time to this craft. or to this thing called trading. And in that trading course, the one that we have free up on our website, I sort of talk about the things that have worked for me, that I still employ to this day. So anyway, if that's something that you're interested in, definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com. Thank you for listening. Become a member. Thank you for the support, TGIF, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.